Hey guys, it is Heather, and this is Thursday, October 5th, and we are doing our team call with Kari, Leigh, Eads, and we are going to be discussing Instagram stories and a lot of the tips. So Kari has grown her business over the past few months, like literally probably added 5,000 plus followers on Instagram from Instagram stories. And if you guys don't follow her, you should, because I'm just going to tell you, she's so much fun to watch. But she's got a lot of useful information in there. And Kari is a coach underneath Lori Stewart. So we're on the same team, and she is a lifetime diamond coach. And has actually been coaching for the past 4 years. And what was it, about a year ago, Kari just really looked at this opportunity differently and kind of jumped all in again and said she's going to do this, and has completely just changed her way of approaching her, I guess you could say. So I had the opportunity to finally meet her at Summit, and we've actually started working pretty closely together on some new trainings that are coming up. So be watching out for those here in the next, it started already. It's called Level Up Ground Zero. And so over the next 5 weeks, we're going to be doing kind of a diamond push training together. So I'm going to leave it up to you, Kari, so we can get started. If you're just jumping on, you guys, if you can take notes, because I'm going to be here taking notes. Instagram stories is huge. And if you're not on Instagram, it's probably a really great way to kind of combine, I would say, Facebook and Snapchat kind of all in one, so you don't have to do everything. But Instagram has its own algorithms and all these little, I guess you could say, hidden things that you can do to grow your followers, but you really have to know how to use it. And I'm still learning how to use it, and it's a learning process. So if you have a notepad, if you have an iPad, wherever you're taking notes, take notes. And this call will be recorded, and I'll post it in our Fatabulous group and in the Fit Law, as well as my Muscles and Muscles. So, Kari, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I am going to make sure everybody else is muted.
All right, ladies. Well, hello. My name is Kari Leigh Eads. Heather, thanks for the introduction. I am from Bloomington, Indiana, and yes, I am obsessed with Instagram, and especially Instagram stories. So I put my Instagram username in the chat because I don't know a lot of coaches who actively use Instagram to its full capabilities. And so I feel like I've pretty much got it on lock, but you will find, if you do follow me for ideas, that I can be very long-winded, and that's just how I am. So we'll cover, how you're going to be and all of that, so you can create an Instagram stories that's like just really, really captivating. So first of all, I'm going to give you a little backstory on how I came to Instagram. So I've been a coach for a little over 4 years, and I started out on Facebook using my like page, and I had really great engagement. But the facts were, I was a new coach, and I got overwhelmed, and I quickly quit my journey, gained all my weight back, and just kept going back and forth over the years. And then finally, I just said, you know what? Enough is enough. I want to recommit to my journey. And I started doing personal development heavily. And through personal development, I thought, oh, well, maybe I should start sharing my journey again. And this is when Snapchat was kind of the thing, and maybe it still is the thing. I do not use Snapchat anymore. I started using Snapchat to get comfortable with video and getting comfortable just being myself, because that's one thing I never really was myself on social media. I would share real raw things about my life, but I was just never fully like Kari Leigh. So I started using Snapchat, and I started getting this following. And if you know Snapchat, it's hard to get a following because people have to actually know your Snapchat handle. But I started getting this following and people started really liking what I was putting out. And so I was just like, you know what? Maybe we need to branch over to a different form of social media. And since I wasn't ready to come back to Facebook because I felt like I had lost my audience's faith because I'd come and gone so many times, I was like, I think I'm just going to stick to Instagram. I've never actively used Instagram to promote my business, so why not? None of these people know me. So I took the confidence I'd gained from Snapchat, and I was at the time using both Snapchat and Instagram because Instagram stories hadn't yet arrived. Okay. So I was doing both for a while. And then when Instagram stories came out, I broke up with Snapchat. And so I picked my platform. My platform is 100% Instagram. The reason I did that is because the conversion rate is so much higher between any other social media platform. So what that means is that Instagram is going to provide you better quality leads, which are going to convert into actual paid customers, right? So if you guys are new to coaching, this is the only way I have my coaches build their business, and it is duplicatable. They have Hit Success Club. So all the tips and tools I'm going to give you are 100% legit if you actually use them. But I kind of lost my train of thought because I got excited about thinking how my coaches are hitting Success Club with it. But you just want to pick your platform. Here we go. So all of my coaches only use Instagram, okay? Everyone thinks in the beginning, oh, well, we need to have Facebook. And then they quickly realize Facebook is a lot of work. So if you have a Facebook and your Facebook is working for you, great. Just take these tips, and if you want to apply them to your Instagram account, apply them. But if you're struggling on Facebook and you want to have faster success, if you can learn to be yourself on Instagram, especially Instagram stories, and apply the tips I'm going to give you, you will be successful. Okay? So, why do you want to use Instagram? Well, first off, Instagram offers pretty much like everything that is popular in all the other social media platforms, okay? So you have Instagram stories, which compares with Snapchat. The filters aren't as amazing, but they're coming along. Then you also have Instagram Live, okay? So just so you know, Instagram does not roll out all of its features to everyone all at once. I have been active on Instagram since February of this year, and I still cannot save my live video on Instagram for 24 hours. Why? I don't know, but I haven't gotten access to that yet. To my knowledge, you don't have to have a certain number of followers for that, but I just haven't gotten it. So anywho, if there's anything that I talk about and you're like, I don't have that on my phone, and you updated the recent Instagram update, it's possible it just hasn't reached your account yet. So don't stress out about that. One thing that I do want to point out is that you'll notice if you follow some high profile accounts like Danielle Natoni, Lori Stewart, you'll see them say swipe up to like see like the book of the month I'm reading, or to see what the Energize is. You have to have 10,000 followers in order to have that feature. Okay, so there are some features that you just have to have a great following in order to get those results. And so I have grown my following since March. In 2 months' time, I went from 452 followers to over 5,000 followers, all organically. None of that is paid. It's just I went on YouTube and I typed in like hacks to grow an Instagram account, and I literally stayed up so late every night for like a week watching videos, and I applied what I learned. So I've done a lot of free webinars. I don't know if you guys have webinars that are constantly popping up in your feed, but if you see any webinars and you're interested in it, do it. They're always going to ask you to buy something at the end, but it's, in my experience, they've always offered great nuggets of information, and that's how I've actually grown my business without investing in Instagram training. So definitely don't be leery of any webinars that you see, because they always do want to give you something. So let's move on to another reason why you should choose Instagram. So Instagram is less effort. The algorithm is different than Facebook. If you are on Facebook, people are probably telling you to post 3 to 5 times. On Instagram, you do not have to do that. The maximum number you want to post in one day on Instagram is 2 stories per day, but primarily only 1 post a day, okay? And you don't even have to post 7 days a week. You can post 5 to 6 days a week and have an off day. So I really find that that's awesome because I couldn't come up with 3 to 5 posts a day for, 7 days. Like that's just way too much. So it's just a lot less work and the results are so much better. Also, if you do use Instagram and you do have a Facebook like page, you can link your Instagram to your Facebook like page and you will get insights on your Instagram. And it's awesome. They'll tell you the time that you should post. They'll tell you the day of the week that's the best. They'll tell you, insights on your stories. And all of that is insanely beneficial because that lets me know, okay, around 8 o'clock almost every night, that's when my followers are on. So I should probably post right before 8 o'clock. So bam, when they log on, I'm one of the first things that they see. So that's beneficial. You guys need to know that information, and you cannot get that information unless you have that linked to a Facebook like page. Okay. So even if you don't want to run your business on a Facebook like page, create one so you have that feature. Okay. All right, so I put my username in the Instagram, in the chat box, because I want you to be able to go and see what I'm talking about. Also have your own Instagram up because I want you to kind of play around with this since I can't share my phone on the computer. I want you to be able to have an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so Instagram stories. Obviously, let's see. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. So anywho, when you open Instagram, you'll see those little circular dots, right? Those are stories, okay? As a coach, you probably follow other coaches. So you probably have several little circular bubbles on your phone, okay? Please know the majority of people that follow you do not have that many circular bubbles, okay? They're not running a business on Instagram. They're just there to mindlessly check out and see what everyone else is doing. So it's very important that you really tune out what other Beachbody coaches are doing. Actually, I don't follow hardly any on my Instagram because Beachbody coaches are not my customers, right? And what I found is that they actually get inside your head, and when you'll be thinking, oh my God, she's rocking her business, and then you'll find out she has 0 customers. She just knows how to present herself on social media. So it's really just a mind fuck. So I would highly encourage you just to unfollow, like whatever business platform you decide to go to. Unfollow everyone that's a Beachbody person, except for maybe Carl Deichler or whatever, because sometimes I want to see his stories because he puts in good information that would be nice for me to know. But you can follow Beachbody coaches on your Facebook, all right? Like you can keep them, just don't keep them on your Instagram. So basically do the stories, because if you go down to the magnifying glass, this is how Instagram ranks things in order of importance. You'll see if you go down to the magnifying glass, that's the explore page, and your goal is to get to the explore page on Instagram because that's how people find you, all right? The explore page is basically Pinterest. And what Instagram has done is they have studied you and they know what you like, they know the accounts that you follow, they know the hashtags that they use, and they take all of that information and they put people in the explore page that they think you would like, okay? So this is an awesome place for you to find, potential customers or follower accounts. Like, so say you find, this is how I've actually gotten a lot of followers. So I followed people that I found on the explore page. I went to their followers and then I saw people that I thought I'd like to work with, and then I started engaging with them. Okay, so just know that this is a huge resource for you. So use that. But Instagram views stories, then videos, and then your posts, okay? So stories is like number one, all right? And from what I'm seeing is people will go to your stories before they go to your page. And you may find that before you start doing stories that your Instagram posts get great engagement, but then you start doing stories and you're like, what the hell? Where's everyone going? It's because they're watching you on Instagram stories. So they don't think to go to your Instagram account, right? So what you can do, and don't do this every time because you don't want to be that person that's just like super predictable and repetitive. But like tonight, I wanted to let people know I had a new post because I haven't done like a side-by-side post in a while with my actual transformation. And so I was just like, oh, go here and check out my post, right? And so we'll talk more about that. But that at least lets them know that I have a new post up, and it drives them to that, which will hopefully lead to more engagement because they'll actually get to read more in depth about what my life is like and what's going on. So that is just a few things quickly about that. So moving on to Instagram stories, pretty much what I'm going to do is I am going to give you little tips and tricks that you may not know that are going to be highly beneficial to you, okay? So just so you know, my Instagram stories is built around pretty much 5 things. And these are things that I actually like have and use in my life regularly. So you've probably had Heather tell you, or your coach tell you, you need to know who you are so you can know who you want to attract. Well, I'm pretty much just, I don't know how you would, I'm just me. Like I haven't ever really met anyone else like me ever. And so I'm not afraid to put myself out there. The more real that I am, I've noticed people respond better. I talk about my squatty potty. I talk about lube. I talk about pretty much everything, right? So it isn't just Beachbody and my workouts. Actually, if you were to go to my Instagram account, you wouldn't even know I was a Beachbody coach. And that's the number one mistake so many people make, especially new coaches or coaches that aren't established, is they brand themselves as a Beachbody coach. They forget about who they are as an individual, and they're 100% a Beachbody coach. Well, nowadays people are super turned off by that because everyone seems like is trying to sell you something with like an MLM, whether it be Unique, LuLaRoe, Monet, whatever. There's like everyone has a side hustle, it seems like. So you definitely do not want to brand yourself as a Beachbody coach. You're so much more than that. So many of you are moms. So many of you may love makeup. So many of you, you're just so many more things than just a Beachbody coach. So if you were to go to my account, it says my name. It says I'm a personal blog. So it says nothing about a coach. And I've tried this. Okay, so just take my word for it. I was doing it this way when I first started, just my name and my personal blog, and I was getting crazy engagement. I did a free webinar training, and they told me that I needed to put that I was a coach and all of that stuff, so I tried it. My engagement dropped, okay, because people don't give a shit if you're a coach. I'm just going to keep it real. They want to know you and your journey. And the more real you are about your journey, the more authentic followers you will find. Okay? If you're not yourself, then you're going to attract people that really you don't want to work with anyway. So that's why I just throw it all out there. I just put it all on the table. And if they don't like me, then guess what? They can click unfollow. And I tell them that. Okay, because I don't want them to follow someone they hating on, So don't be afraid to, if you lose followers, you will lose followers, but those aren't your people anyway. So when it comes to Instagram stories, today, like every day, I pretty much start out with my mom crack. Well, it's changed. I start out with taking my son to the bus. Then I start out with my mom crack. Then I start out with my pre-workout dance party, and then usually something about my workout, and then a post-workout selfie. But then I also talk about my dog, and I actually, you'll just have to watch my story. But I incorporated him into my Instagram story the other day. And then I did a poll because there's a new feature on Instagram that is insanely awesome. And it's where you can do a poll. So if you pull up your Instagram stories and you just take a picture. So try this now so you can see. But you just take a picture. And then in the upper right-hand corner, there's a square with a smiley face. Click that square. Then you'll see in the second line, it says poll. If you click that, then you can type a question. So what I did is I typed a question like, what kind of person are you? And then where it said yes, I clicked on that and I typed in the dog emoji. And then where it said no, I typed in a cat emoji. I got so much engagement from that. People started sending me their pet pictures. And so then I created a story based on my dog, okay? And how like all these female dogs were trying to date him online. That had nothing to do with Beachbody, but people went crazy over it. And that's what you want. You want engagement. So have fun with it, okay? Don't be so serious. Don't think you have to only talk about your workouts, because at the end of the day, my workouts are like 30 minutes of my life, okay? So if I only share my workouts and drinking Shakeology, I wouldn't have that much content, right? But I share it all. And when I say all, like my Instagram stories can be like 10 minutes. And that's a long time when you think they're only 15-second frames. But people watch them. You know why? Because their lives are super boring. And that's the majority of the world. They're just addicted to their phone and their lives are super boring. So if you can give them something fun and entertaining to watch, they're going to constantly tune in. So that's what I do. I give them something fun, something entertaining. I encourage them to participate, and it gets an amazing response, okay? So at the end of the day, if you take nothing away from this call, just find your things. Find who you are outside of being a Beachbody coach, and then run with those things, all right? Use those awesome things about your awesome self to attract the people that you want in your tribe, okay? And trust and believe it will work. So use the poll feature. Don't just make it about working out, because what this will do, I use this feature today, is I did a post. Again, you'll have to just watch my stories. I hate that I keep saying it, but that's it's just the facts. So I did this thing where I did a story that built up to me asking women if they would be interested in joining my upcoming workshop, and click yes or no if they wanted more details, okay? I had like a lot of women click yes, that they wanted more details. If I wouldn't have had that poll feature, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I would have to say direct message me. Well, when you ask people to like do another step, like, okay, here's a possible workshop. Do you want more information? Message me. That's a lot more effort than if you just put, oh, click yes or no. Everyone clicked yes. Okay. And I just posted that not too long ago, but I have like almost 400 people that watch my stories every day. And so imagine if just a quarter of those said yes. Imagine if just half of those people. I mean, it's insane, because now I can engage with all of those people. So even if they don't purchase, I can start a conversation with them. Okay. And on Instagram, like it's a social engaging platform. So Instagram wants you to engage. Okay. It's vitally important that you realize that. A few other quick things with the poll is that as you're going through your story, you will notice as people are voting, it will show on your story the percentage. So right now, the last time I checked, when I went to my story, I had 100%. It showed 100% of the people that voted said yes to wanting more information. Okay, so then that lets my audience that hasn't voted yet know that so many more people are interested. So that creates like excitement, right? Because they're like, oh, it's not just me that wants information, like all these other people want it, so like I should get in on that, right? Then it will also let you know who said yes and who said no. So then you can send those people a direct message. Use that information, because if people are tuning into your Instagram stories, then they're your captive audience, okay? You need to be going to their profile. You need to be liking their profile. You need to be commenting. You need to be sending direct messages. And this is my approach. So when you go to your Instagram stories, you'll notice down here in like the lower left-hand, oh, sorry, I was dancing in my story. You'll notice down here in the lower left-hand corner, those are all of the people that watch your stories. Okay, if you click on it, they all come up. All right, so it's basically a contact list of all of your best followers. Okay, so you should go in there and click on, oh, here's Samantha's profile. And I just start going and liking her stuff. So I do the 5-3-1 rule. I like 5 pictures if she has 5 pictures that I can like, because you will find that most people who follow you don't post as much as you, okay? I have followers that are on Instagram 24/7 and they've never posted a picture in their life. So it's like, how am I supposed to engage with them, right? I just send them a direct message. I'm just like, hey girl, I just want to thank you so much for tuning into my craziness. Like, I know my Insta stories are hella long, but like, I appreciate you like hanging in there and supporting me. And it just starts a conversation, okay? But you want to use like the 5-3-1 rule, and I learned that from Shalene Johnson's Instagram training, and that is in the Fitabulous coaching group, and it's free. Lori paid for that, and you have access to it. So if you want just some information about Instagram, how to start your bio, things like that, it's a great way to start. I'm not sure if it's been updated. So some of the information may not be 100% relevant, but it's a great place to start. It's where I started. Okay, so a few things that you can do, again, in Instagram to get more eyes on your story is if you take a picture, and let's say, you know, you're at, I'm just going to use Assembly Hall. We're Big Ten basketball school. So let's say I was at Assembly Hall for a basketball game, and I wanted to use the location to get more views, because if you put the location in your story, your views will explode, okay? It doesn't mean your followers will explode. It means your views will explode. But sometimes you just don't want the location to show. The same with usernames, okay? So I like to tag people in my posts, but some of their accounts are private, or some of them don't want me to necessarily share their account. So what you can do is you can make everything super small. Okay, so I'm going to put in a location. Try this. Take a picture if you have your Instagram out. Take a picture in your stories and then pull up any location. Okay, just tag it. And so then it will come up big, right? So if you just go in and shrink it, you can shrink it all the way down to where it's invisible, right? So it will still show up that, you know, you're at that location. It just will not show up in your picture. So you'll still show up. Like if you go, if you put in hashtags, you can do the same with hashtags. You can do the same with pretty much everything. So usernames, hashtags, locations, to get more views, because every hashtag has a story hub. Okay. So if you put a hashtag in your story and your story is in the hashtag hub and it's a really active hashtag, then you're going to get more views, right? The more views, the more exposure. Hopefully that means more engagement, and hopefully that means more followers. Okay. So those are just some quick tips on something that I think has like been super, super awesome. Something that I've been doing, and I've gotten a lot of success from it. So just so you know, for the last few months, I've only been doing this whole Instagram stories thing like fully committed for just a few months, like not a few months, but before Summit, let's say June. Okay. Yeah, May or June. Okay. Whenever it was announced, I didn't fully invest, but then when I decided to fully invest because I watched a marketing, like social media marketing thing, and they were like, pretty much Instagram is where it's at. If you're investing your time in other platforms, like you're wasting your time. So just do Instagram. So I gave up everything and I just devoted my time to Instagram. Since then, I've consecutively hit SC 10 plus. And last month I got, I want to say like SC 24, 26, and that's solely off of Instagram stories. Okay. But what I did is I built on my story. Okay. And this may not make a ton of sense to you until you actually go and watch my story. But if you take a picture and then you just want a blank background, okay? If you go to the pencil in the upper right-hand corner and you pick your color, let's say white, and then you hold the screen down, it will turn white. Okay? It will turn any color that you want. Okay? So I have a brand, and my brand colors are typically white, black, purple, and pink. So anytime I have a workshop or something, I try to incorporate those colors. So if you have a brand, incorporate your colors, incorporate your style. But this is something I've done that's really, really helped me create like suspense. Okay. And I actually learned this from Jatana Jackson. Let me type her name in the chat because she's really good. I've learned a lot of tricks from her. And she's done a ton of Instagram training calls. I feel like she did one for maybe it was a challenge group call. But anyway, she's really good, and she's just good. You just have to watch her. She doesn't do like insanely long stories, and she's pretty much like, she does talk a lot about Beachbody and things like that. So that's kind of where we differ because I don't do that. But just her strategy for hitting Success Club is pretty incredible. So what I've learned from watching her is that you want to create suspense. Right? So instead of just posting like, hey, I have a challenge group that's opening, which if you do that in a regular post, people aren't going to respond. Just trust and believe. The most successful coaches aren't getting engagement on those posts. Okay. So posting about it, wasting your Instagram main page for, a challenge group call out isn't super successful. Okay. Use it to talk about something deep and impactful, a pain point, something like that. So what I did in my Instagram stories today is, and this wasn't planned, but I created suspense by, building a story up to when I was actually letting people know I was going to be hosting a new workshop. So just so you know, I don't call my groups challenge groups. I feel that intimidates people and sets them up for failure. I call them workshops. And so that's been very successful. I also call challenge packs toolkits. Okay. And I preface it that you'll be getting the same tools that I used when I started my journey and that have allowed me to continue to keep my 75-pound weight loss off. And so then they're like, oh, wow, I'm getting the same tools as Kari. That's awesome. I want to do that. So what I did was I was on Facebook scrolling, okay, and I saw all this negative stuff, like divorce, tragedy, all negative stuff that I just absolutely was reminded that's why I'm not on Facebook. So I decided that I was going to build a suspenseful story. So bottom line was I did a bunch of blank screens, but every screen had a different pain point on it. One had divorce, one had politics, one had aging parents, depression, all these things. And then I pretty much led up to the fact that, like, could you imagine if all the people used that negative energy and channeled that into living their best life? How much more different would the world be, right? It'd be incredible. People waste so much time bitching on Facebook when they could be doing a workout and creating feel-good endorphins. So don't let them give you any objections like they ain't got time. If they just posted something on Facebook, they've probably been scrolling for a while. So you just holler back at them and you be like, no, I know you have time. I see you. As soon as I post a story, you are watching it. So I know you have time, right? So anyway, I did that, and it lets people know, like, you're not just trying to sell them something, right? Like, think about why you joined Beachbody. I know I joined Beachbody because while I had already had a significant weight loss transformation at the beginning of my journey, I was attracted to the community, right? My coach and all of those things. And so I wanted to be a part of that. Think about why you wanted to be a part of it and use that to build on your pain points, right? And pain points are essentially points that evoke emotion, all right? So one pain point could be I couldn't fit into my skinny jeans. Like, that actually happened to me recently because I've been eating too many fruit snacks, but I couldn't fit into my skinny jeans. Like, they wouldn't zip. So, like, do you remember that feeling when you, like, get in your weight loss groove and then you think it's okay to start nibbling, and then all of a sudden you have, like, this muffin top and now you can't button your jeans? That's a pain point, right? Women can relate to that. Every woman can. So when you're doing your story, you want to create these pain points. And so that's what I did in my Instagram story today. And it's gotten a lot of engagement. And so what I'm going to do is I'm using this little activity is I'm doing a sneak peek into self-love. So I'm all about self-love. That's my biggest part of my brand. And so I'm doing a sneak peek into self-love, and I'm tying that in with Clean Week. Okay. So yes, we'll incorporate Shakeology and we'll incorporate exercise, but it's pretty much going to be just like a 7-day workshop, pumping these women up with confidence and belief that they can tackle a larger workshop. And that will then lead into my invite to join my paid workshop that's going to start at the end of the month. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. And I'll continue to use Instagram stories to craft my invite and to engage with my audience. But you just have to find captivating ways to do that. All right. And so you need to share the funny things that you think, oh, I better not post that. Yeah, you probably should post that because that'll probably make people laugh out loud. And that means more viewership. So that's pretty much my biggest trick, is actually creating mindful stories, okay, and being consistent. I may have missed posts. Like, ever since I found out you don't have to post every day on Instagram, I usually post 5 days a week, but I'm constantly in Instagram stories. So it's not like I'm not in Instagram at all. Like, I'm still there. I'm just not creating content in my actual account. So that's been something super, super beneficial, is I've been consistent with my Instagram stories every day without fail. If I'm not on there, people are like, Kari, where are you at, girl? Like, what's going on? You're always on Instagram. I wake up and I expect to see you doing a dance party. So where are you at? And so people want to see that constant. They want to see that you're committed to your journey, and even amidst the struggles. You know, I talk about my struggles all the time, my fruit snack addiction and all of that stuff, but it just makes me more relatable, right? So share your whole journey and try to come up with some kind of schedule without coming up with a schedule, if that makes sense. So while every day I'm not like, oh my gosh, okay, by 7 o'clock, I need to be posting my pre-workout selfie. No, I don't do that. But I have somewhat of an order to my day on Instagram, right? So like I said, it starts with the bus. My son just started kindergarten, so it starts with the bus, and then it progresses from there, and I'm constantly weaving things in and out, right? So you guys could use this training call as part of your story if you're on Instagram, because you also want to talk about the business opportunity. And when you talk about the business opportunity, again, you're not talking about, oh, be a Beachbody coach, blah, 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 blah. No. All right. You want to talk about joining like a community, a tribe of women. Talk about the freedom that this opportunity has provided you. Talk about like the mindset, like if you're not working full time with Beachbody, or you're at the very beginning stages of your business and you haven't had a lot of success, just talk about how it's brought you out of your comfort zone. Okay. Because what I learned at the last Super Saturday, and Carl Deichler was actually at our Super Saturday, he said, right now, and don't quote me on these numbers, but it was something pretty powerful. He said, right now, let's say that there are like 4,000 elite coaches or coaches that actually make significant income within Beachbody. Let's say there's only 4,000. I'm pretty sure it was a number like that. Compared to this time last year, only 1,500 of those coaches have actively grown their business and moved it forward. That's kind of insane, right? And he said the reason why they're moving their business forward is because they're trying things a different way. Okay? So what worked a year ago probably isn't going to work right now. What worked 6 months ago probably isn't going to work right now. Okay? So get creative. If you have an urge in your heart to do things a different way, do things a different way. I do not coach like any other coach on my team. I just do things my way. And ever since I committed to doing things my way, it's been successful. So do things whatever way you want to do. This is your business, so own it. We all have an upline, but at the end of the day, you like really can't rely on someone else to grow your business for you, right? So you have to do the work. You have to come up with the post. You have to come up with the content, and you have to show up every day. And so back to what I was saying about Carl, is he was saying that the people that are growing their business, so that small percentage of coaches who are growing their business, invite to 3 different things, okay? They invite to a free group. They invite to a challenge group. They invite to the business opportunity. Okay, so just to give you an idea of how I'm doing things this month is that I'm going to be, like right now, I'm inviting people to my self-love sneak peek. Okay, that for me is going to start on the 23rd. The 23rd. So I'll have 2 weeks to like really start engaging and talking and inviting people, right? And then my paid workshop will start on the 30th. But I always have a welcome week, so we don't officially start on the 30th. So that means I have that, time to like start selling, the paid toolkits and all of that good stuff. And then that group will move into November. Somewhere in there, I'm going to do a business opportunity and do like a sneak peek into coaching. I'm rebranding myself. And as in regards to my coaching business, because I hate my team name right now. It was from 4 years ago, and I've just changed so much and evolved in my business. So I'm changing my approach with that. So I'm going to be presenting the opportunity as more of a club, if you will, because I feel like the majority of people, while you'll have those people who are like, well, if they want to be a coach, like they'll just be a coach and get over it. Well, if that was the case, then, you wouldn't be having a problem recruiting coaches. But the normal person doesn't want to be a coach, okay? The normal person wants to be included. They want to feel a part of something, and that's proven. That is why Facebook is putting so much weight on groups, okay? Because people want that. People want to feel like they're a part of something, right? But they don't like the pressure of feeling like they have to perform, okay? So why do we make them have that pressure by calling them a coach? So just like I changed the name of my toolkits from challenge packs to toolkits, from challenge groups to workshops, I'm changing the name of coaches to whatever I come up with. But that's what I'm doing. Okay, because I want the people who want to really run they'll still be able to run, right? Because they'll be recruiting people into, our self-love circle. But then the people who like are interested in the opportunity, but are terrified to, engage with people, maybe because I changed how I talked about it. Instead of saying, oh yeah, recruit people to join your challenge group. If I said, hey, just go out and start talking, to start sharing your journey on social media. And then as you share it, say, invite other women to be a part of your community, right? That sounds a lot less intimidating. So that's something that I'm going to be doing on my Instagram stories in the upcoming month. And I'll be testing that out and seeing how it works and seeing if more people join that way. But that is, I want to say, pretty much all my secrets. Do you guys have any questions? Is your brain fried?
Hey guys, I'm unmuting everybody. Does anybody have any questions? I should be unmuting you, so don't unmute yourselves. Unless you're muted. Okay. If you guys are unmuted, do you guys have any questions or?
Are you guys using Instagram?
A little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, actually I've kind of quit using Facebook and I've only been using Instagram.
And what are you noticing?
I'm getting better engagement. In all honesty, and I was finding on my Facebook, my like page, I wasn't reaching anybody, 3, 4, 5 people. I could never figure out the algorithm. On Instagram, I'm getting new followers. I'm getting more engagement. I seem to just be reaching more people.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of retired my like page and have just been doing Instagram. And I've been doing what you're doing too. I drink green tea. So I start the morning with green tea, reading my personal development, my workout, and then I go through the day. And that does seem to work. So
yeah, it creates consistency. What's your username?
that's a good, Kelly Slusher, KELLIE SLUSHER. Oh, it looks like I had turned off my video. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I think this is you. Do you have a picture of you and your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's okay, can I just give you some tips?
Yes. Actually, I was going to message you after this was over and ask you too.
So if you guys want to go to her Instagram page, and just so you can see what we're talking about. So the first thing is that I would definitely get rid of the Beachbody website.
Yeah.
You can use, it's called Linktree. You may have seen other coaches using it.
Yes.
But it's a way where you can have multiple websites in one link, because Instagram only allows you to have one link in your bio. And so if you use that one link and it says something like Beachbody or whatever, people are going to be automatically turned off by it.
Gotcha.
Okay? So I do like how you said, you're a fit mom of 3 girls, organizational guru, fitness motivation. That's great because it lets people know what they're going to find if they come to your page. But you want to make sure when people come to your page, their eye is immediately attracted to it. Okay. So what I would recommend is go to someone who you love to follow on social media and see what it is about their page that really attracts your eye. Because Instagram, it's all about color scheme and it's all about using the same filter, because this is basically your online magazine. That's how you need to look at it. People aren't coming to your Instagram to see the Body Beast. People probably don't know what that is, right?
Gotcha. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and then the picture right here, the first one where it says shop small for fall.
Yeah.
That's going to be people are, what the hell is that? And if that gives them, if they have to stop and think, they're moving past.
Gotcha.
Right? And so you want to make sure that all of your pictures this is just from what I've learned. You don't have to do it this way, but if you're new to coaching or just building your brand, people are going to come to your Instagram page for you. Okay. So I do not post ever about my son or my husband or my friends on my Instagram. Okay. I only post me and quotes. Why do I do that? Because it's my account, right? It's not my personal account for my son, for my husband. Now, I do talk about them in Instagram stories. Okay. I use the hashtag #ThatMomLife all the time. And because I talk about like the real life, just complexities of being a mom, I've started a Bad Moms Club on Instagram. So we just talk about, like how like we're like the cool moms, but we're not like the Pinterest perfect moms. And, sometimes we don't like playing with our kids. Sometimes we like feed them frozen food every night for dinner for a week, but we talk about those things. And so you can talk about, your beautiful daughters in your stories. You just want to make sure like it's relevant, right? You don't want to be like, go straight from your green tea to your workout and then a random picture of your daughter, right? You want to incorporate it in your day. So for me, what I did this morning was I put on some music, because you can play Pandora and be in Instagram at the same time. Okay. So I put on some music, and then I danced around while I made my Shakeology. Okay. And then I went to the bus stop. So that was a part of like, getting my day started. They see that, oh, she's a busy mom, but she's getting her superfoods in, right? And then I can move on throughout the rest of the day. Okay. So make sure you're just tying things in nicely. What you can also do is you can archive your photos. So when I created my Instagram, it was a personal Instagram. So I didn't start from scratch. I just used my personal Instagram, but I archived all of the personal photos. Okay. So you can go back through my Instagram and you can see when I started changing how I used my Instagram. But I archived them. And so if you click on your photo, okay, in the upper right-hand corner, there are 3 little dots. And the top, once you click on that, the top thing will say archive. If you archive that, basically it saves it to a folder. So you still have access and you can put it on your timeline again at any time. But if it's out of place, it doesn't make sense, or it didn't get that great of engagement, then just archive it. Right? So save it for later. Maybe it was great content, but the picture was horrible. Okay, great. Archive it. Use the content with a better picture and see if it gets better response. Right?
Okay.
So that's great. So one thing I have started doing, I learned this again in a free webinar and it made a lot of sense, is Instagram, pretty much when someone goes to your account from a phone, they get 6 rows of pictures from you, right? And so those 6 rows really need to be visually appealing, okay? And I'm just going to keep it real. I'm not saying you have to show your body off, but I started out being body positive and self-love. And if I don't show some part of an imperfect body or my stomach, it doesn't get engagement. Like, people may give you shit because, why are you always posting your body? Because y'all don't like it when I wear clothes. You know what I mean? It's like, come the fuck on. So anyway, perfect example is last night I did a post with, it really wasn't that great of a picture at all. I couldn't find any motivation. I was trying to stay in theme. So I do 3 pictures and then a pink quote. Okay, that's my theme, right? And so so basically what I do is I just go into like Canva or whatever, Rona Designs, that app, I find a quote that I like, and then I create it, and then I go to the pink filter and Instagram, and boom, I have my own quote, right? Anyway, I was trying to stay in line with the theme, and the picture got, I normally average like 100 plus likes. It only got 73 likes, and like, I mean, it got several comments, but it didn't get a lot of like active likes. And so I was like, well, shit, you know? So I'm like, I guess I'm going to have to show my stomach again. And so now, like on the stomach post, okay, I'm up to like 46, and I just posted it, I want to say, yeah, just a few hours ago. So honestly, I don't know if Instagram's changing something, because normally, like, my engagement is a lot more than that. So it's just going to be something I'm just like going to have to play around with. But just know placement is everything. So if you're, you know, kind of going to be starting from scratch with your Instagram, just really pay attention to, you know, the kind of pictures that are getting engagement, the kind of photos you like on accounts that you follow, and things like that, because it will make a big, big difference. Another thing that's important if you are on Instagram is there are a lot of hashtags that are banned, okay? And so if you are using a hashtag that is banned, and so essentially what that means is the hashtag has been reported with inappropriate photos. Instagram is really trying to clean up, like allowing like soft porn pretty much to be on there, because I feel like that's what it was for a while. But they're trying to do that. So if there's any hashtags that have been blocked, and you'll be able to tell, like if you click on the hashtag, it'll take you to the hashtag hub, and it will say pretty much like there are no more posts, you know, in this hub because it's been blocked or something. You want to make sure you check your hashtags regularly, okay? Because if you don't, and you're posting with a blocked hashtag, it just won't show anywhere, okay? So check your hashtags regularly. That's something I actually did, because I did notice like my engagement was down. So I was just like, maybe I have a blocked hashtag or something, but I didn't. So I don't know what's going on, but anyway, that's super, super important. If you use at least one hashtag in the body of your first caption, you get better reach. And then you can use up to 30 hashtags in total. So that's in your original body, and then that includes in your additional comments, right? So what I do is I have all my hashtags saved. Okay, so I max out on hashtags every time. So in my notes, I have my hashtags saved, okay? So what I do is I have gone through, I did a free hashtag, no, I paid for that actually. I did a $40 paid hashtag training, and it talked about like, think about, again, the person that you were before Beachbody, or the person that you're trying to reach, and think about the hashtags that they would use, right? And so then go search those hashtags. If when you search those hashtags, it looks like pictures of people you would want to work with, that's one of your hashtags that you need to start using, right? And so it takes time to do that, but if you can find 30 really great hashtags, hey, like what, it was worth the time, right? Because technically that's free people. So
that's what I did. I have 20.
Yeah. Well, you can use 10 more, girlfriend.
Well, what I do is I use 20 pretty regularly, and then I try to use like 5 that's specific to that post.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Is that the right thing to do? Okay.
Yeah, that's
because I remember watching something, I don't know, Janelle Summers or
no, that's
somebody.
That's perfect. Yeah. Just make sure that none of it is like home workouts or right. Because a lot of people like it's just hard. So you won't get a lot of reach and stuff. So okay, Heather has to jump off. So if you guys have any questions, you have my username, so just reach out. But yeah, just soak it all up because Instagram is where it's at right now.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Talk to you girls later.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks.